We wait for those lights to go off. Right, Gary Fleming, take them off the line. Gazza, good morning.
Good morning to you, one and all folks. Umpie Swart and Kai van Zyl cutting off that inside line very neatly. It's Clint Bezuidenhout that runs towards the middle of the track. They side by side. That's the two big hitters. Who's going to get the whole shot is going to be the man that was in pole position. It looks like it's Clint Bezuidenhout, but Umpie's right there behind him.
Swart in that second place, having a look for the lead there. Then we've got Kai van Zyl right behind Kai van Zyl, and getting bumped there is Kai van Zyl by Nathan Victor as they make their way out of turn number 2. Then we've got Dylan Jabeur followed there by Skull Geldenhuys. Leading Class B is Zaki Hendricks. He sits there. He's got them all racked and stacked in there behind him. Ian Cup was the biggest loser in that one as they make their way up the Tygerberg Straight towards turn number 4, Saddle Sweep.
It's all about war up front as they go into the Saddle Sweep. Clint Bezuidenhout from Umpie Swart Clinton, now resident down in the Cape Town area. Nobody has been able to pull one over Umpie at local level. This is going to be the battle everybody's going to watch today. Down towards turn number 5 they go. Is Clinton going to close off that inside line? No, he's confident. He stays on the outside line. Umpie dives on the inside line. He's not going to wait. He knows he's got to get his nose up on the inside, and he does it. He does it. Does Clinton run off the top of the circuit, right on top of the curbstones, and through the kink they go. Umpie Swart back to the front, but look at that 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th place battle.
Well, it's all on as lap number 1 is in the bag here. Racing down towards turn number 1. Then we have got Zaki Hendricks, Kyle Visser sitting 1st and 2nd, and running off the circuit, going wide there. He's Bezuidenhout on the exit of turn number 1. So Clint has lost a good couple of positions there. As a matter of fact, it drops down into P4, and diving around on the outside is both Dylan Jabeur and Skull Geldenhuys. Trouble out there for Bezuidenhout.
I fear he's got a flat left-hand front tire. They went and touched as they went down into turn number 1. He went wide. Only the likes of Clint Bezuidenhout would be able to keep it out of the kitty. That he did that. Had to drop back into that 4th position, and unfortunately you could see it started smoking as he came up into the brake markers of turn number 2, which showed that he couldn't do the normal form of braking. So Umpie Swart through the Saddle Sweep. Oh, look at this. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and it's Nathan Victor. Nathan Victor's worked his way up on that inside line, and I think it's going to be him and Dylan Jabeur that's going to have a battle down into 5.
Right, Class B is also going down the backbone. There's a lovely fight for P1 and 2 between Zaki Hendricks and Kyle Visser. The two of them are side by side, and it's Visser that squeezes ahead there of Zaki Hendricks, working the way out of turn number 5, out of Fostron corner. Racing down towards us, and right there for 1st and 2nd in Class B, and right there behind them is Mohammed Kalfay as they work their way to turn number 1, followed by Mark Thompson, Brett van der Skype. Then leading Class C is Dylan van Eden. He's right on the case there of van der Skype, and right behind him is the 3-0, and that is Matthew Rowe, and that is 1st and 2nd in Class C, right there with the Class B cars as they work towards turn 2.
Going down to the Class A guys, down towards Interceptor corner, turn number 3. It's Umpie Swart that leads out. Nathan Victor's actually getting away from Carl van Zyl. I think Van Zyl's actually battling to hold onto the pace of Victor. Geldenhuys and Jabeur starting to close up. Cap's actually doing a pretty good job in the class.
Right, so there's dust everywhere as these drivers are putting wheels on the dirt. They're using the track and a lot more. Down the back lane goes your Class A cars. They are using indeed the track and a lot more as Dylan Jabeur is now making a move there. He sits up on the inside. They are side by side heading down into turn number 5. Jabeur's got the line. Will he be able to sneak through? And he does so as they exit turn 5 out of Fostron corner, coming back towards us. Here they come. There's a lost Class C car there, and it is Uniswan from Nathan Victor from Van Zyl, Dylan Jabeur, followed there by Skull Geldenhuys and Ian Cup. Then the Class B leader heading into turn number 1 now is Zaki Hendricks. Right behind him is Mohammed Kalfay, and we have lost Kyle Visser. Visser was right up there, Gary. I think he's dropped way down as Visser. As a matter of fact, He's coming across the line now. Very slow is Carl Visser.
Having said that, Nathan Victor, Class A, pulls off onto the KPL drivers' pits area. Going down into Interceptor corner, it's Umpi Swart that leads out pretty decently now. Kai van Zyl, his father's an ex-champion, into that second position. Then it's Jabir and Geldenhuys and Kapp. Nothing much between them. The biggest move on the last lap was in fact that Hendricks went to the front end of the field. Calfey is looking pretty good, and Thompson is also within just about close enough to be able to get a bit of a slipstream down the back main.
Right, we are those Class B cars. They should be making their way down into, trying to pick them up, this Class
Coming
B
out
cars.
of
Yeah, they come
Sarl.
out of Sarl sweep, down the back main. It is Hendricks from Colfay, from Thompson. Behind Thompson, we have got the 69 car, that's Brett van der Schyff. Those are the Class B cars that's working their way towards turn 5 into Fostron corner.
Going back down towards turn number 1, Umpi Swart doing a brilliant job as always in the absence now of Clinton Bezuidenhout, a whole lot easier. Kai van Zyl doing everything that he needs to do to stay ahead of everybody. There's a lot of dust on the exit of 1. I think somebody might have gone off on the outside of turn 3. We'll have to see where that is. I don't see a car out there, but there's a whole heap of dust. There's waving yellows in the entrance to Interceptor. Now, Umpi Swart's on his way down towards Interceptor, turn number 3. He'll see the waved yellows on the entrance. Not a problem. Van Zyl, Jabir, Geldenhuys and Kapp rounds out Class A. Hendricks, Class B. That's the man you see on screen going through turn 2.
Yeah, and the monitor's not right here because that's not the 15 car that sits in P1 in Class C. As a matter of fact, it's a 55. And that's Dylan van Eerden, and behind him is Matthew Rowe. So the monitor is not right. Those are your two leading Class C cars that's working their way now out of Interceptor corner.
Leaders working their way down to turn 5. And it's Umpi Swart that's leading out pretty decently. Last time around he had a 2.8 second gap on a Kai van Zyl. Kai not under too much pressure at this stage of the fight. He's got open ground in front of him. He's got a little bit of open ground behind him. Dylan Jabir right in there as well. Dylan Jabir was 1.9 off. I think Dylan might just be closing. Dylan's looking pretty good in this one as they work their way past the start-finish line. The Class B battle, Frankie, coming out of Cape Town corner. And the ex-chairman, the man that's back in the seat again, Zaki Hendricks, is leading them out.
Yeah, out of Fostron corner, under the bridge they come. That's Zaki Hendricks. And right behind him is Mohammed Kalfay, followed there by Mark Thompson, Brett van der Schyff. Then we've got Dylan van Eerden and Matthew Rowe crossing the line. Then behind them is a Faisal Jacobs. Then it's Nur Abbas coming through. Then Dani Sandenberg Senior. And only then do we see the 33 car come through there. And that is a Daniel Muna.
Ramiz Boltman, the man that was the first car, the Class C car that Frankie referred to that had fallen off the back end of the pack. He's actually gone and parked that car on the entrance of a turn number 1. And obviously the problems that he had was just a little bit too much. Umpi Swart on his way down the back main. It's Kai van Zyl. It's, oh, look at that. Dylan Jabir comes to quite fine. But behind that, the 10 car, the GNA Motorsport sponsored car, using the track and a little bit on the outside. Kapp is now starting to fall off the back end of that 5-way Class A battle.
Right, so yeah, they come out of turn number 5 out of Fostron with 2 more laps to go when they cross the line, that is. And it is the Bullion IT car up front of Umpi Swart, followed here by Kai van Zyl in second. Third is Dylan Jabir. Fourth is Skull Geldenhuys. And fifth is Ian Kapp. And then coming out of turn number 5 now is your leading dice for first and second in Class B, and it's Zaki Hendricks coming on the bridge there, just ahead there of Mohammed Kalfay, followed there by Mark Thompson and Brett van der Schyff.
So with 2 laps to go, Umpi Swart on his way down towards turn 3, Interceptor corners up, dusted and disappeared. Kai van Zyl doing a lovely job as he works his way through there in second. He doesn't have too much of a problem to stay ahead of Dylan Jabir, who doesn't have too much of a problem to stay ahead of Geldenhuys, who same distance back to Kapp. Just going out of your screen now is Zaki Hendricks. Now I must say Kalfay is doing a very good job. Mohammed Kalfay is putting up some very quick lap times. We can see it on our monitor, and I think he's keeping Zaki Hendricks, the man from the mag industry side of the world.
Wheelworks.
Being Wheelworks, that's the name I was trying to think of. That's why I've always got Frankie with me. He can remember things much quicker than me. The man from Wheelworks, ex-chairman, ex-class champion, leading out Class B.
Right, here they come around to start their last lap. There's one more lap to go for Yuri Umpiswat that makes his way into turn number 1. Kai van Zyl, Dylan Jabeur in P3, followed by Skull Keldernace, and then Ian Cup coming through. That's all your Class A cars. That's working the way out of turn number 1, Gary, as the Class B brigade heads out of Fostron corner, turn 5.
Can Zaki Hendricks hold out there from Mohammed Kalfay? Kalfay is closing. Kalfay is definitely closing, but there's a second problem, and that is Thompson, because Mark Thompson is closing down on Zaki Hendricks as well. Has Zaki overcooked those tires? It's possible. Zaki is under a lot of pressure. Out of turn number 1 they come. He's been closed down by Mohammed Kalfay. Frankie, Class C.
Yeah, Class C, what you see on the monitor is incorrect, because it's Van Eerden is leading Class C, but according to the monitor, he's not even racing. But there he sits first in Class C behind Brett van der Schuyf, working his way into turn number 2. And behind him is Matthew Rowe. Then behind Matthew Rowe, as they make their way out there, Nur Abbas has also been in that fight. He's made a move there on the Class B man. That is Daniel Sandenberg. But the checkered flag is out, Gary, for your leader.
Brilliant job, Umpiswat. Pity about the contact with Clinton Bezuidenhout. It robbed us of a 1-2 between the two of them. Coming through in second, Kai van Zyl. Dylan Jabeur in third. For once the car doesn't break on him, then it is Skull Keldernace, and then the next man through being Ian Cup. Then we go back, here he comes through now we go back to that Class B battle. Oh, Frankie, Zaki Hendricks through turn 5. It's very close.
Very close, coming out of Pertamina Fostron for the final time. Under the city of Cape Town Bridge, it's going to be between Zaki Hendricks and Mohammed Kalfay. The checkered flag is out, and it's Hendricks that comes home, head of Kalfay, followed by Mark Thompson and Brett van der Schuyf. And then winning Class C is Dylan van Eerden across the line, with Matthew Rowe coming home in that second place. Faisal Jacobs will finish there in a third position. Then we've got a lost Class B car, that is Sandenberg. And then the next man in Class C will be Daniel Muna coming through. What has happened to Nur Abbas? Nur Abbas was in that fight as well with the 15 car. He has not come to the checkered flag as Nur Abbas.
He has actually come past Frankie. He was just ahead of Daniel Muna. I missed him as well.
Yes, I missed him. Correct.
So according to the board,
I do apologize.
According to the board, Daniel Muna, who started at the back of Class C, ended up in second place in class. That's according to the board, and that's the way I think. I think Muna is correct, but I think you're also correct on Van Eerden in the 55.
Well, Van Eerden sat right behind Van der Schuyf, followed by Rowe and Jacobs. They were sitting right behind the Thompson-Van der Schuyf battle, so I'm not too sure if our monitor is 100% correct.
I think that of those pickups from the unit that gets put in the car, I think that
the
during
transponders.
the transponder, there's the second word of the day. I think that those transponders may be lost on one lap, and that's what created that the board was then incorrect. Brilliant drive by Umpiswat. What a pity. Him and Clinton Bezuidenhout, the two of them fighting for the same piece of tar. No quarter asked, no quarter given. You need to be dominant, to be on the right line, flat foot, closing on 200 kilometers an hour, going down into turn number 1. If you're too tight in, you're going to come out slow. You're going to lose it up at Jabeur Straight. If you're going to have the right line for the braking going in, you're going to lose it into the exit of the corner and end up in that second position. Both of them fighting for the ultimate line. Unfortunately, wheels touching what looked like a flat wheel for Clinton Bezuidenhout. The nice thing is we get an opportunity later on today to watch them once again go one-on-one.
Well, Tyne is getting all excited here because Dylan Jabeur, that's a family of his, in Class A, finished there in that third position. So, yeah, well done there to Dylan. And now the leaderboard, Gary, now it gets fixed up. So it is definitely the way we saw it. Van Eerden Rowe, Jacobs, Abbas, Muna, Harris, and Kutsia. So the way we saw it early on was incorrect. And I was right when I said that the 55 and the 30 was first and second behind the 81 and the 69 in Class B.
So Van Eden, Rowe, Jacobs, Abbas, Muna off the back of the pack ahead then of Harris, Kutsia. Boltman was the one that fell off the back end of the pack, eventually slowed it down and parked it on the entrance to turn number 1. So let's hope they can get that one sorted out. The one that we don't know is the 61 Class B of Carl Visser that disappeared. Didn't see where he went off and or stopped. Let's hope they can get it sorted out. There was a point where the camera shot looking down the back main picked up a lot of dust in turn 4. I see that there is guys sweeping in turn 4 at the moment. So it could have been there that we ended up losing out on the young sensation.